Hello, this is Dr. Charmaine Gregory, and welcome to the very first episode of Fearless Freedom with Dr. G. In this podcast, we are going to take a look at fear and how it affects our lives. Fear is something that stops us from achieving our true greatness. Are you a professional woman who's feeling stuck, unmotivated, or burned out? Are you worried about your wellness? Are you letting fear stop you from crushing your goals? If you answered yes to any or all of these, then this is the podcast for you. I am Dr. Charmaine Gregory, a night shift emergency physician, burnout thriver, and wellness champion. Join me in this journey, your journey, where we will talk with everyday heroes just like you and explore how to face fear in our lives and emerge victoriously. In this wellness journey, we will be exploring ways to conquer fear in life, career, business, and everything in between. This podcast was started out of a selfish reason, I will admit that. And basically, what it is I am deathly afraid of many things. The one thing that I'm extremely afraid of is public speaking. So in order to face that fear, I figured, hey, go big or go home, sister. So I started this podcast. It is my hope that you will take a fear that's big in your life and you will tackle it, face it, and overcome and achieve your greatness. So I hope that you will come along with me on this journey as I find ways and find items in our lives and ways in which we can conquer our fears. So here we are having a conversation. Here I am talking to all of you. Am I afraid? Absolutely. Is my heart beating rapidly? Absolutely. Are my palms sweaty? Absolutely. Why is that? I'm not facing a large audience, but in my mind, I can envision all of you listening, and it makes me nervous. I'm not going to lie. This is a way for us to, together, hold hands, pat each other on the back, and conquer our fears. So thank you so much for being a part of this journey. Let's talk a little bit about my background and why I am the perfect person to do this podcast. So I was about 8 years old when I decided that medicine was for me. Now, it's quite an interesting story because I really had no indication or no exposure to medicine in its true form. My only exposure was to my pediatrician, and I was just drawn to this individual. And I went so far as do something quite odd for a child, which is request shots when I went to the office. This inspired me to look into books that talked about the human anatomy. My mom saw this interest and saw that it was a path potentially to medicine and allowed me to pursue the dream. We made great sacrifices along the way. We left the country that we called our home and moved to another country, the United States, and she made great sacrifices in this regard as well. Many years passed, and I was able to accomplish the dream that was born in the mind of an 8-year-old. And that dream was to become an emergency physician. Well, let's just be honest, to become a physician. The emergency part came later. So there I was, crossing the dais, and at my graduation from medical school, tears flowing down my face because I was just so proud, so overwhelmed, and so grateful for the sacrifices that my mom made when she came to this country and left everything she knew so that I could pursue this dream. So I continued on, went to residency, started my career as an emergency physician, but somewhere along the road, I started to stumble. I can't pinpoint the exact item that did it. I can't tell you that it was one particular thing that pushed me into the pit, that deep, dark, dank pit of burnout? I can't tell you because it was probably multifactorial, but I do know that there was a huge element of fear. So I accidentally and fortuitously was able to find a lifeline out of that pit. And that lifeline came in the form of paying attention to self-care. Now, this is not the answer to everyone's situation when it comes to burnout, but it turned out that it was mine. Spending 30 minutes of time out of my 24-hour day, several days a week, had a compound effect of allowing me to have the joy that was lost for the multitude of reasons and led to my burnout. So as I came out of this pit, and as I started to feel more confident because I had more energy and because I was getting more healthy and fit, I learned that by reaching out to others and helping them to also grab and embrace and unleash their greatness, it helped all of us together. This is where my business called Fervently Fit with Charmaine, LLC, was born. And this is where we are now. This has been an evolution that has occurred over the past 4 years. And I am so excited to be able to share with you. Here we are, 2018. And I stand before you a completely different person than I was during that time of despair. When we look back at our situations, even those darkest days, sometimes we feel, why are we going through this? Why have we gotten to the point where we are in such a deep hole that we feel as though we cannot surface from it? The reason is, and I know you hear this and you've heard it before, and it may sound a little bit trite, but I'll tell you, the real reason is you are never given anything more than you can bear. And every experience, positive or negative, is always going to be an opportunity for you to help someone else in the future. So I truly believe that the reason why I went through this and the reason why I have been able to talk about it and relate my experience to others is because there are so many people out there who are feeling the very same way. It may take a very simple tweak in your life for you to emerge victorious. It may be a smaller tweak than you can even imagine. It may be that you take 5 minutes each day as your day begins and you just practice gratitude. Or it may be that you decide that you are going to keep a journal. It doesn't matter what that tweak is. What matters is the consistency. What also matters is that you surround yourself with those that are going to be encouraging, those that are going to uplift, and those that are going to be the people who you can lean on. This life is not an easy journey. There are always going to be potholes. Never think that things are going to be perfect. The moment that we do, those are the moments that we truly fail. Falling on your face, like I have done so many times, is not a bad thing. What is important is that every single time that you fall, you get right back up. You reflect on the experience and you find out how that experience is helping you to grow and change and be better. So, yes, this is a story. This is my story. What started as a spark in an 8-year-old mind came with many sacrifices, many struggles, became a realized dream, and then that dream was threatened by burnout. But I'm here to tell you that I am not going to say that I have been conquered by my fears. I am not going to say that I have been derailed by burnout. What I'm going to say is I feel like I have learned, particularly with this experience, that when you punch fear in the face and you get back up again and you put your shoulders back and you tell yourself, I got this, great things happen. And I know that great things can happen for you as well. So I really, really, really appreciate you joining me in this journey. And I hope that there will be something in this podcast that will touch your heart. I hope that there will be something that will empower you. I hope that you will be stronger, that you will be braver, and that you will truly unleash your greatness. This is Dr. Charmaine Gregory, and you have just listened to the very first episode of Fearless Freedom with Dr. G. If you like what you hear, and I really hope you did, please definitely leave a 5-star rating and subscribe to the podcast on anywhere you listen to podcasts. Please feel free to share and leave a review because it just helps others to hear the stories and experiences that you have just listened to. Thanks again for tuning in.
Thank you.